Welcome, Congressman Steve Stockman, who many of us have become to know as the champion of the Bring Back Our Marine cause. Congressman, if I could, let's go back to the inception of the idea. I heard from your office about a week before your video was released, but walk us through the inspiration for the hashtag Bring Back Our Marine.
Well, I'm from Texas, and a lot of people don't know this, but we have all the time incursions, what that means, crossing the border by Mexicans, and the United States routinely returns our Mexicans back to the country without so much as a hearing. And when I was listening, and quite frankly, people who are familiar with Texas and the border, you can easily cross back and forth. And some people don't realize this, but there are areas where you can cross back and forth without really knowing it. And we got to understand in California they have similar circumstances where they actually remove the sign for the construction they were performing that says you're entering into Mexico. So as he crossed, and he's not from California, and as he crossed into Mexico, he was actually did a 911 call saying, hey, I don't know where I am, what's going on. So when I realized that Mexico was requesting, or actually not requesting, but performing a different standard for which, you and I, United States citizens, we our military, our forces, turn back our Mexicans without so much as a whimper or court date. So I got really angry at the hypocrisy of Mexico, even with their immigration, which their immigration policies are much stricter than ours. And they're expecting us to treat their soldiers and their men and women differently than they treat ours. And that, to me, is a hypocrisy. And we want to cut funding and want to really throw the hammer at them until they come around. I don't think anybody around the world respects the United States, primarily because I think our president's out playing golf and fundraisers, and no one's watching the house.
Well, I've been impressed, Congressman, with the public outcry. It started here and there, and various hashtags came along, but you led the charge and provided the leadership to actually bring Congress on board in a couple of ways. First of all, we're going to talk more about the Bring Back Our Marine hashtag, but before that happened, you introduced a bill that not only condemned Mexico and called upon them to release it, but concurrently providing that no more foreign aid until that's done.
Yeah, I think, like as I mentioned, nowadays we're so disrespected that we it's kind of interesting. I remember Ronald Reagan when Gene Kirkpatrick said anybody votes against us in the UN, the funding would be cut, and of course that grabbed the attention of every country. If we did that now, probably the only countries that would fall into that category of voting with us is probably Israel and Canada, and even that at times seems to be weak. So I just think that we need to be more assertive in protecting our American citizens, especially a guy that served two duties in Afghanistan.
Well, I know that the outrage on Twitter was there, and I'm sure it was there on Facebook and other social media. But you came on the scene and basically called for your colleagues, and we were honored that you would partner with us, and we began a Twitter campaign, and right away Congressman Salmon piles on, Congresswoman Wagner, Congressman Meadows, Benevolio. I see Congressman Fincher, Flores, Jones, Perry, Lambert, and the list goes on and on. I mean, who's not on board? I can only think of one name.
Well, I am disappointed that our president isn't on board. He is the commander-in-chief, or theoretically he is, but he's, as you know, he's using his phone and his pen more for promoting his concerns over this upcoming election more than he is about our soldiers. And it is sad. People are not familiar with the case necessarily. Andrew was down there in San Diego getting treatment for his service to his country. and yet we can't get our president to act in a way that would most presidents would act, which is to come out forthright. I actually was at dinner with the Consul General of Mexico, I think it was 2 months ago, right after it, fairly soon after it happened. And I said, General Consul, I said, we could save us a lot of grief and embarrassment if you took care of this matter in a very quick way and got it out of your hands. And he never commented or anything like that, but I know it was the beginning of much to your support and others people calling the Mexican consul and the ambassadors attention to this. And you want to do it, if you're going to continue to keep up the pressure, which I highly recommend, you want to be respectful but forceful, and also get more congressmen to sign on to our bill would be great too.
We've heard that patience and persistence with Congressman pays off, and Congressman, we just want to take this opportunity to thank you, for your leadership, and just let you know that we're behind you 100%. But I did want to end up on a light note and change the subject a little bit. The dog ate my homework bill?
Yeah. Well, just like the hashtag we took from the president's wife, we also found humor. Of course, we also had a serious bill, too, where we're going to arrest Lois Lerner. But we also, after hearing the testimony, the reasons why the emails, which, by the way, by law, you and I have to keep our documentation for our 1040 for 7 years. So I find it ironic that the people who want to keep it 7 years lost it. So we created a bill which gave you 7 reasons, I believe it's 7, to there's 7 or 10 reasons to let you skirt the issues just like the IRS. And I don't know if you have them in front of them, but if you could read them, they're actually pretty funny.
I will look it up, but I forget it. But I'll have to share it later.
One of them is that one of them is that my papers were left in Ted Kenney's trunk.
Water damage.
That's right.
Actually,
as they say in the Democrat Party, it's all water under the bridge.
Yeah, I had that thing. I wish I could pull it up handy, because I had that thing on my I emailed it to myself so I could share it with my Sunday school classmates, and they rolled over. It was I just appreciate your serious leadership, but also just the comedy, because it's not funny, but it is absolutely comical. What we as citizens are hearing from the very department that would excoriate us if we offered anything resembling that excuse.
Well, absolutely, and ironically, Lois Lerner really hasn't taken anything seriously. But as soon as we had this proposal, which, by the way, doesn't have to go to the Senate, the president can't veto it. It's actually just a House vote where she can be arrested. Now they're saying, oh, well, maybe we do have the emails after all. And I'm thinking if we actually go with this, she'll actually probably find them, because she can prevent herself from going to jail if she testifies. Now, she lost, as you know, her right not to testify when she went and broke the rules and just kept talking in her opening statement, which even non-lawyer would know that's something you can't do and declare. I'm still going to take my step.
Trey Gowdy with that. You want?
No, not Trey. No, my man.
Well, Congressman, we thank you so much again for your leadership. We thank you for taking time to share with us, and we just support you, and we thank you for championing the causes together and helping us get other congressmen on board.
Well, thank you for helping me. Without you and your listeners, we wouldn't be this far. I really appreciate the activism that you're doing, and without you, we'd be very challenging. Thank you.